All right, we are
Wait, do
live,
you
and
do
all
you
I'm
know?
doing is testing out some stuff. So we're just testing out some new features in Switcher Studio. So we got a couple people from Patreon and Discord, and they did the new way you can split screens. So I want to try that out, and I think I can bring. Of course, I have to try this live instead of just doing the stuff non-live. I'm like, oh, let's just do it live. What can happen?
Not
But
anything can go wrong.
so one of the things I want to try is the comments. I don't even know where it's at. So supposedly, oh, it is connecting to YouTube. Okay, so I think eventually when someone comments, or even one of you, if you happen to have YouTube open, drop a comment in there and see if I can pull it in here.
Done.
Where did I put all that? Okay, we got a hello. What does that mean? Oh yeah. What does I do? Oh, all right, that's it. Wow, okay, push of a button lets me drag that in. How do I take it out? I just press it again. All right. I dig it. Okay, so it only comes back. It's like a split second later.
It works.
We're geniuses. Now, what? Okay, let me see this. If I go back here. So these are two of them. I don't know if I want to do. So this one obviously shows the full. I even have room down here. So technically, I have free room down here, and it shows my full screen. If I switch to this, let me go 1, 2, 3. That's not bad though. It just chops off the edge, and if I stay centered, that's pretty good. Let me take this off.
Yeah.
What have you guys been up to? I see it's still a little daylight out by you, Mal.
Very barely. It's very, very dusk.
Is it?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
have a sun. Not much of it though.
Are you guys same time zone? Probably same. No, I don't think.
I'm 1 hour ahead.
No, I think we're the same now because we've just gone forwards for the Brits.
Yeah, we just went forwards too. Like we all
Ah.
go forwards roughly the same sort of time. So
Yeah, I know. That screwed up the. Like I was live streaming and it was 1 Eastern, 6 Greenwich Mean Time, and then it just switched to back. I was like, oh boy. That's cool that it works. Like theoretically, I have a lot more. So we can bring in a bunch of people with like 5, and it has like a whole bunch of split screens. I don't even have enough screens to show it, and I don't think. I wish this plan had like a sharing plan where someone else could control the thing while I was streaming, because it's like hard to draw, talk, and bring up chat and switch cameras and all that.
Yeah.
So that was the only bad thing about this. But everything works. Yeah.
I mean, would it not work where someone so you call into someone else, but they just have your screen and your sound and everything is the main output on the screen, and they just be a silent partner sort of thing, like mute their microphone, just sit back. Look,
yeah, I'm sure there's a way. So like how you had all the software to do it. I think if I could put it just on your screen, and then if you had software that could handle what your screen showed, then I think something like that version would work. You know what I mean? But it's like, so because this app, it uses both my iPhone and my iPad at once, and then I have, so the iPhone acts as a like the switcher device, and then my iPad is just showing the screen. So I have it blocked in. Like, how did I do that? Oops, if I do this one, so I can obviously switch to my PC and you two guys. So that's how I'm gonna I want it set up because this would be the perfect way to like go over some of the pictures that were included in the tweets.
Yeah, like some of
Yeah.
the see what you want to choose for
Yeah.
a paint over there and stuff like that. Yeah.
And I was gonna do it yesterday, but I forgot. So it was a 2.5 hour stream. I didn't bring it in. I was like, perfect.
Why does that not surprise me?
And
The
the funniest thing was I totally forgot to like even mention my like Ko-Fi or Patreon, and I'm like, oh man, like that.
Yeah. I rigged the Discord in.
So okay, we could do. Okay, that doesn't come out bad. I like the layout of this.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, I don't mind at all. And then if I switch back, I don't think this one makes sense. That one's a little smaller, unless I wanted to do. Oh, let me see. I'm going to bring up a comment now. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Okay. What does starring it do? I don't know. Beep. Shows we're live. Mal, you got quite a bit of painting done. I keep calling you Mal, even though that's not.
Oh yeah, it's
I call you
right.
like
So,
3 different names.
do you want to know where? Like, I can't remember if I ever actually told you, but do you want to know where Mal came from and why I answer to Mal?
Why?
So when I was just barely 18, 19, somewhere about then, I was working for a taxi company, like answering the phones and like booking people's cars in on the computer and like tracking everything with GPS and all that stuff. And I needed a bit of extra cash. So I got a job on, like sort of through the week, through weeknights at a bar that was right by my house. And it was like a bar that was attached to a hotel. So it was mostly like business people that were like staying over there and stuff. And when I started, they were like, "Oh yeah, okay, so you're working like 3 nights a week, 4 nights a week, whenever we need you, that sort of thing. But you're on your probation period, which is like, like they make sure that you're not going to like spit in people's food and things like that. Like they've got to cover their bases." So they didn't want to send off and get a badge made for me because everyone wore these like custom plastic badges that had these little like holes, like the old McDonald's one where they had holes for the stars. It was like that sort of thing, but it was like how many years you'd worked there. I guess so that people could like look down on you even more for like working in a bar for 7 years or whatever. So they gave me 2 different name tags that people had before me. One of them was Mal. Now Mal was this old bloke, Malcolm, that had been working there for about 15, 20 years or something. So I had Mal, and it was like his first name badge, because that's the one that had just been kicking around for ages. So it was like scratched to hell. You could barely see what the name was, whatever. The other one that they gave me for if ever that one got lost or like eventually broke was Jenny. So for about a year and a half of my life, I got called Mal or Jenny. Obviously tried to keep Mal on a lot more than I kept Jenny on because, like Mal is at least close to my own name. And like, it was easy to sort of go like, Mal. Oh, that's me.
Yeah. I'll remember that's me.
So I spent about a year doing that, and like at that point you just sort of get used to answering to Mal because people would shout it across the bar. You would have a couple of regulars, people who were like in and out of business all the time, and that was fine. It wasn't a problem whatsoever because that was the only place that people called me Mal. Until a couple of years later, I left the taxi company and I moved to a different city in the northeast of England, and I got a job working for Npower, which is like an electricity and gas company, like provider of utilities. And it was absolutely fine until I finished training and I got put on my team with like the other like 7 or 8 people that I was meant to be like doing my job next to, and the manager stands up and goes, "Hey, Mal, can you help me with this?" And I went, "Yeah, sure." And as I went, "Yeah, sure," the guy sitting next to me went, "Yeah, what do you need?"
Yeah, that's funny.
And then we both just looked at each other, really confused. My boss looked at me and went, "Why did what?" And I was like,
One
"Oh
thing, Mal, can
no!"
you? Okay, so your microphone is coming in real loud compared to mine. Can
Oh,
you
I see.
turn?
Okay.
So we'll
What's
tie.
mine coming in
I try to
like?
get all the. I think yours is fine. It's just Mal's was a hair loud. It was spiking to red, where ours just go into the middle of the yellow.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Mal,
What we've got.
try it.
I don't know. What's my?
I mean, it's not killer if you don't go loud, but I mean, I just because like in the future, you know, you're going to be on here more, whether you
Oh
kind
yeah,
of want to or
it's
not.
Yeah.
So you might
it's
as well.
my booming voice. Unfortunately, I'll try and be a bit
No,
quieter
Your
it's
because
Pierce
I have
mutation.
no idea how to
no worries, no worries for now.
change
We'll
the
just yeah.
thing. I mean, if I was using OBS, I could have done it.
Yeah.
But this is the one time where I haven't opened it.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, that's why I answer to Mal, and
Yeah.
I have for years. And like I had nicknames that involved Mal. I was Mal on the internet for a while afterwards because at that point you're just like, yeah, screw it, embrace it,
Yeah.
you know.
What color should I do this background? I don't even know why I'm doing this one. It's just it feels like I'm on one. So I should be doing something. I
It's
don't know.
Cacodon's Astra, so
Space Sharks, call them by their proper name.
yeah.
Ooh, I kind of like purple.
Yeah.
Purple and grey is a little bit close, though.
What
Well, I can
what
heat it
background
up.
did he
I can
normally
heat up
depict it
the
on?
purple with like orange in certain spots. Let's see.
You do tend to use like orange and fire quite a lot, which
yeah, orange
is okay. But I think
noticed
something
it
a little
too.
bit more alien for this one because Carcharodons are meant to be like right out on the outskirts, like on the very fringes of
All right, let's get
not
Yeah.
even like known space. Like it's really like
They have
they go to the weird places.
I'm down.
what a like the official art has like a lot of the like blue and stuff in it.
Yeah, I do kind of like purple. I like like this, like where you going and that touch lighter with it. That's pretty nice.
We're gonna go.
I mean, it might very well be just because that is the color palette that I've been using for the past like week and a half. But yeah, sure. Like,
yeah, dude, that happens to me. Like if I'm so orange gets used a lot because it's the hot, it's an actiony color, and most explosions. So
Yeah.
and I try to get away from it, but the thing is, like, your eye is almost trained where if you see like purple pink smoke it's almost jarring to your mind even if you think it's cool, you know what I mean? It doesn't like set, you're so used to seeing like certain colors that your brain like just assigns, okay, that's cool. I do like this color though. This looks kind of cool.
One thing I am glad is that my paint survived today.
Oh, your paint's good. Why did I sign up to that Games Workshop thing? Whatever thing I just signed up for.
Yeah, you signed up to Imperium because you're trying to force yourself to do the things that you need to do. You know that you need to paint some actual physical miniatures. You know that you've got a backlog already, and you've only got like one box of Enforcers. So now you're forcing yourself.
I have more than enough, so this is already a problem because. And you should see the mental gymnastics I was doing with myself justifying this. I'm like, hey, it's a really good deal. So you're getting stuff at a huge value. You don't have a lot of it, so you can use all of it. You don't care what you're really getting. I'm like, you can paint some of it really fast. Instead of like, when I buy like the Enforcers, I'm like, okay, I really want these. I want to paint them. Some of these, I still like them, but I'm not like attached to them. So I'm like, oh, why don't you practice on these and then go over to there? And then I'm like, well, if you don't use it, you can give it away to Patreons as some of the stuff, or you can die like a pharaoh and have it all buried with you. So those are kind of my options. And then I used to justify it, and I'm like, man, okay, if that comes out to like, it's still a deal, but if like it's like 30 or 40 bucks, so I want to get them. I was like, okay, I'll go for like a month or two. You know what I mean? Kind of see what I get. I'm like, And the other thing is, they have some of the mini game stuff with it. And since I'm not even playing, I'm like, that stuff will be pretty good too for me. You know what I mean? I'll read up on some of that. And, they had the little booklets. I'm like, okay, just get it. You know what I mean? Like, just sign up for a while. I'm like, you're
Like,
you're at least making some, money off of quote unquote GW, however I'm doing it. I'm like, go buy a little more. I'm like, you're okay. I'm like, invest in it some.
Yeah, I mean, the previous one, Conquest, I was fairly tempted by it, but for whatever reason, when I was trying to sign up for it, because they did it as two separate things, like because of country and sort of VAT and all that. So when the UK one came out, I couldn't sign up for it, but the German one started about like 6 months behind, so I could have got Conquest. And went to sign up for it, and I'm going through the website in German. I'm like, right, okay, like here's my credit card details, etc., and it just would not work.
Gotcha.
So it just barely missed out on me getting even more of a backlog than I already do.
Yeah, I don't know who it would be like the best for. Like, I think for someone like me, it probably works great because it's a little bit of a bunch of stuff, and you know what I mean. It's cheaper
it's
than
a few different things.
And I'm like, okay, I would have a selection, and I can, like, if I want to paint something. So it was like, okay, it makes sense. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, if you can, on a few levels. So I think that'll kind of work good for me. I've been enjoying. I finally though. So what it came, I laughed because I didn't check the mail yesterday, and I just opened the mail today, and March is April 1st, and I get March's issue of White Dwarf.
Yeah, I was
Count yourself lucky. Count yourself lucky. I haven't gotten my copy yet. The only good thing about that is, at the beginning of March, I got an email from Games Workshop saying, we're really sorry about this, but there's going to be a problem with a whole bunch of White Dwarf subscriptions. Yours is one of them.
Yeah.
Because there's such a big run on White Dwarfs that we're trying to deal with it. And the other thing that's actually okay is the fact that I already own all of the games that it comes with. So the only thing that's really happening is the person that I already agreed to give the code to just has to wait that little bit longer.
The mailers, it comes in like a sealed package, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was lucky because the mailer is chewed up. The top was completely popped open, and the bottoms are all shredded. And obviously, that's not GW's fault. I've dealt with the mail enough where they like trash it, so it has nothing to do with GW. But the good news is the magazine survived unscathed, and then both of the inserts, I think there was only 2, but both of them were still in there. Because I was like, oh no, don't tell me the codes, and either someone took them or they just fell out. You know what I mean? But I pulled in, I was like, okay, the codes in the Army list. That was the other thing. I was like, I think it's like the Army points lists for the stuff. And I was like, okay, I had no, like, I'm not like swiping stuff off the net or whatever, but I had no access to the points list. And I'm like, oh, this gives me a good idea of what stuff costs. And I didn't know if it was the full ones, but it sure almost looks like it. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's the points update for like competitive play, I think, is it not?
I think so.
Which is kind of useful. Don't get me wrong, like half of my codices I haven't actually opened at all in the last 6 months because I already planned out what I was going to buy. Like painting all these demonettes and stuff is quite literally just like, I know what I need to get through. They're all armed exactly the same way. There's no weapon options or anything. Just do what you can. I've already built all my Primaris, my Space Marines, and I've already got all my squigs and everything, so I just haven't needed to open books. So, the points will come useful, but I don't know. When it eventually arrives, it'll be good. But until that point,
it's like for me, like I've got through my backlog of stuff.
I don't believe you.
There's
always more plastic.
The only things I haven't built because I don't feel like doing them is the Necron half of the Indomitus box.
I mean, arguably that should be the easiest thing to paint. Just dry brush bolt gun metal over black primer.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I'm working on my fancy resin boys, the Death Sworn.
Yes, Forge World.
Aye. And I have a Mark IV Tech Marine arriving at some point.
Lovely.
Living the good life.
I think I've got. So 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago?
Sure.
No, you know what it was? It was December. December 2. Not the December just gone, but the one beforehand, because it was in between Christmas Day and New Year's Day, and I went to the UK for like 3 or 4 days to meet some friends. And we were meeting up in Nottingham, so I went into Games Workshop HQ while I was waiting for them to turn up from the airport, because, what else are you going to do in Nottingham apart from the Cat Cafe?
Cat Cafe?
Yeah, there's a cat cafe. So there's Games Workshop HQ, which is like, Willow Road, Lenton, like the big industrial estate. There's a tram stop right outside it. If you ride that tram back towards the Nottingham city centre, it's one stop before the main tram exchange, like the main tram station in Nottingham Centre. There's a stop that is very, very close to the in-town Games Workshop. Like Games Workshop in Nottingham Centre is like this tiny little place. Directly over the road from Games Workshop Nottingham is a cat cafe that is like, I think like 2 stories and just full of cats. And my friends both aren't particularly keen on cats. They're both like very, very dog people. But like even walking past there, one friend's allergies for cats started getting a little bit triggered. But I'm like pressed up against the glass, like, cats, amazing. This looks like so much fun.
Cats for the cat god.
I'm a massive cat person. So, right, now that tangent's finished with, I went to GWHQ because I had a list of things that I wanted to get. One of them was a Leviathan Dreadnought with twin Storm autocannons, because why not? And some Dozer blades for rhinos. And I had this extra little list of like, if they've got them, brilliant. And it was like a Mark III Tech Marine, Cataphracti weapon options, and a couple of other things. And they didn't have any of the extra stuff. So I ended up getting a like the Iron Hands Cataphracti armored Iron Father, because I was like, you know what, this can easily fit in Iron Warriors if I just paint it right.
This boy, but with a second
But
gun.
I still haven't put it together. Oh, nice. Daka.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that my Iron Warriors are definitely like ready to be painted for the most part, like that on the table. Or the Rhinos and Vindicators and Land Raider and stuff are.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff like my Havocs that I need to work on, and some special characters and stuff.
Yeah, those were looking cool.
Yeah. Well, as I said at the beginning of the week, all of these demonettes that I just painted is literally me procrastinating in a giant circle. We're about 7 or 8 layers of procrastination deep, to the point where I finally got around to doing the thing that I was meant to do at the beginning of last year.
Such is life.
Life finds a way.
Yes.
Wait, what? I know it's in more things, but what was that? Like Jurassic Park?
Yeah. Jurassic Park, Jeff Goldblum. It's here. I should probably stop playing with that. Stop fiddling with things.
What were you playing with?
Just like clicking and neodymium magnets together, which I'm sure was getting picked up by,
I can hear it. It's not as bad as me dipping my paintbrush in the pot.
It's honestly, it's the second worst thing that you could give me. So I don't know about either of you, but like stickers for me is a big problem, because like you get some stickers and you're like, yeah, I want to put these out. Like I've got some Squidmar miniatures, like like the stickers that they sent out with
Yeah.
paintbrushes. And I'm like, yeah, I got these stickers. They look really nice, but what do I put them on? Like my Redgrass palette is like like a little bit scuffed, and there's like this little like dried on paint that I can't clear off of it and stuff. Like my laptop's a little bit old now. I might be looking at exchanging it or getting something new. Where am I going to put these stickers? The Redgrass painting handle comes with this really fancy magnetic base for the painting handle, so you can like stick it on your desk and you won't knock it over and send your miniature flying. And it's a sticker. Where am I going to put a really cool sticker that is going to be in the right place always for me to just put my painting handle down on it, but also look good? It's like,
I'm going to send you guys stickers.
Talk about dilemmas.
I'm going to send you guys stickers, and you got to put them on the wall behind you, so when you're on cam, the logo shows on your wall.
Oh, that's
I'm not sure how my unit will feel about that.
I'll figure out a green screen.
Yeah.
And just take a photograph of the sticker and be like, like I took it to a print studio and blew it up a bit for you.
I seen some of those I seen some of the green screens, and they do some pretty cool stuff with them now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I should be.
I should do.
See, like eventually I'll probably put like, if this keeps growing, whatever, I'll eventually be on cam with it. It's still like I have to get a whole setup so where I sit and all that stuff. But what's funny is I didn't really even know like VTubing was a thing.
Yes, lovely.
That would be so on brand. Like if you could VTube and like then make the different icons for your face, like be kind of cool. And I'm like, I never even knew that was a. I mean, I guess it's a thing because they have avatars for everything. Yeah. But still, like,
you know what I would do? I'd do a full Space Marine one.
That's what I mean. You could do like you could change. You could have different faces for different. Like if there was a release and it was something like, I draw like a different cartoon avatar and then put it up and stuff. So I was just like, oh man, that would be cool. But everything is work.
Yeah. Very true. Everything is work. It's always work. It's never fun.
I've just been like, I try to get the thing that's going to advance me the most.
Yes, Rowan, that's lovely. Just eat your food.
Small child issues, I see.
Yes.
What
is this thing's fist? I don't know this. What is this on the fist?
Siege drill, I believe.
It's not a siege drill. It's like a siege hammer. There's a name for it. Hang on.
Seismic hammer.
Seismic hammer. That's the one.
Oh. We didn't have seismic hammers back in my day.
Well, we didn't have siege dreadnoughts back in the day, man. We didn't have ironclads or anything. I remember when dreadnoughts were metal, and you had to buy different ones to get different weapon options, because the Blood Angels one had two fists, and that was the only one that could have two fists. There was another Blood Angels one with a multi-melder.
I took a metal dreadnought and hacked it up with plastic and gave it reinforced armor and made it all bigger. I widened the arms. I did like all this stuff. I increased the height. Like I had all this stuff worked in. I should have finished the damn thing. I like that part of it, like the modeling type part. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, I'll do this and make it bigger and glue it and file it and sand it. And
yeah, honestly, that's the part that I kind of struggle with, because like I do the model building and I do the conversions and the kit bashes and everything like that, and it's all fine, and it's it's good putting stuff together. But then after I've put that much work into everything and taken off all the mold lines and smoothed everything out, I'm then covered in plastic dust or resin dust. Like I've spent like multiple hours putting together figures, and then I just cannot be bothered doing anything else.
Oh, for sure.
It takes me so long to get into painting.
The box and I'm done. I'm like, oh, that was it.
Yeah, like you get the box and you're like, yeah, this is amazing. You take the plastic wrapper off, you're like, new box smell, and then you look at your plastic frames, and that's it. The excitement.
I'm doing it this year a little more. Once the weather, so I'll bust out the airbrush and do it, and I like just so much going on. It keeps going. I got to start putting some days into reforming like the Patreon and stuff, and that's why I was like, I wanted to practice this because in there I want to do some live streams just for that group. You know what I mean? And like the Discord group, and have a sealed one where we try a bunch of stuff. So that should be cool.
Going on about looking at the plastic things, this thing, the tracks. Looks like Mal is having a go at somebody. Let me grab one out of the wardrobe to show you what the plastic track sheets for this are.
Okay, if you're finished, then go somewhere else. Or like play with your toys.
This is what I need to build one set of tracks.
Oh gosh, I didn't know they were that small. Here, wait, hang on. Wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, individual track links because
Live
reasons.
As much as the Firefly kit they do is a great one, I hate the fact that it has individual track pieces.
I watched some. There's like a couple War of the Worlds things that came out on TV. I was drawing last night and I watched one, and it was kind of interesting. It was like, I'll have to watch a couple more episodes. I think I watched 1.5, and I may watch that one. It was kind of interesting. Pretty well done. It had like the sphere that landed, but then it was like spinning in the ground. I don't know what show. There's 2 of them that came out, and I don't know what channel or anything, but that was kind of interesting. I thought they did it well because I liked Wars of Worlds as a concept, but it could be overplayed or whatever. But I thought it did pretty good.
Yeah.
I got some reading to do in the new White Dwarf. I didn't finish there's a lot of content in those White Dwarfs. That's why I ended up getting, I'm like, man, it is everything in there from like, the stories were nice because it's my type of stories. It'd be like 4 pages and I'm read and I'm done. You know what I mean? I'm like, there, I got my, that's like my catch up on lore thing. And so they have a couple good ones in here that I want to read. And so I was like, okay, good. I'll handle a short story. There's so many factions now that I'm like, what is the one in here? So it's like, I didn't know these were a thing. Wait, what was the faction? It's the Index of starting the Exorcists.
Oh yeah, the chapter of the Exorcist.
Yeah, so I didn't even know they were a thing. I did not know they even existed. So that'll be cool. Like I'd read the couple, like the first page and a half, and so that was pretty cool. Catch up on my.
I wonder whether or not this is. Let's do that and see what.
A lot of good minutes.
There we go.
They have even more miniature pictures in these magazines than before. They are loaded with pictures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They did this really weird switch a little while ago where they took the articles and put it in one magazine, and then they took all of the really nice photographs and put them in a second magazine.
Oh, okay.
And that lasted a very, very short time.
Yeah.
Before they sort of went like, actually, this isn't working out, and just put them back together again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now White Dwarf is a lot bigger than it used to be.
Yeah.
But,
like
it's jam packed with everything.
I know. I always picked them up once in a while and started getting so much good. So I was like, okay. I'm like, and again, I think it's one of those, and they must do it. I mean, I guess White Dwarf is usually for more hardcore fans, but I'm like, with me, it works because that's my dose of a little bit of lore here and there, and a little bit of the game stuff, and a little, you know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, so it works out. And that's kind of the same reason. Like, well, I'm subscribed to that one, so I might as well subscribe to the other thing.
Mm.
Put some lighting on this.
Well, happy days.
Aye. There's my dry brush. Good old Troll Slayer orange.
Orange.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've spent over a week painting pink and purple and blue, everything in that one section of the color spectrum. So
Yeah.
I always
Soon
think of like an army with like almost not completely different paint schemes, but kind of very different for like different either like squad types or whatever. You know what I mean? So you get like a bigger variation. So like maybe like one their main color is like red, but then your assaults your main is orange, and then maybe like the others are like I don't know, like a purple or something. So you're kind of in that same tertiary scheme, but you can kind of break out of it.
yeah, I mean, there's it's Blood Angels, isn't it? That have different helmet colors for the different squads.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's normal red helmets just for your line troops, like your tactical marines.
Yeah.
Yellow for assault, blue for Devastator and heavy weapons teams and stuff, and then you've got gold for the command squad.
Yeah, I kind of I just dig that.
So
for
like
that
you
little bit
can
of
definitely
variety.
do that same sort of thing, but like I think what did I try it with? I think the color of the arm at one point on one set of
Like a
figures.
shoulder pad.
Like the no, not even the shoulder, just like the entire thing, like Van Brace and all of that.
Yeah.
Sorry, my cat's being stupid.
All right.
What's it doing this time?
We're just this is just a big test, and I'll make sure. See, I gotta go over here. Okay, so the word bubble is my word, so we can bring up bam, 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 bam. So if I leave it on there, I could always pull them up.
Oh, it doesn't come up in the lighting. Yeah. I do like the rusty colour scheme I've gone for with my Imperial Knight Warden.
Rust is good. Rust is fun.
Yeah. It takes a lot
Your
of
tank,
paint,
I
though.
saved that picture. Your tank, you did a pretty good picture of that. Your lights, it's probably just because it's like a phone. I can manipulate it because a lot of your colors get a little washed out with the lights and that on your thing, but that tank picture was really cool.
Phone colours, and I have really harsh bright lights in my room.
Yeah, yeah.
That's okay. Yeah. Yeah, I need to take better photographs. I wouldn't care. I've got my light box, and I've got a whole bunch of LED panels and white rings and little stuff like that. I've got tripods galore for my phone. I've got these actual like magnifier lenses that you clip onto the thing, so that
Good. As long as you don't
zooms in
use any of
and
that.
keeps the quality.
Yeah.
I just need to get around to setting it all up.
Because it's so much. It's like a lot of hassle. It's like it's not even necessarily hassle, but when you start thinking of time, you're like, dude, do I have really time to set up this all and take a photo and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
It takes a while.
There's always cats who are very interested, little children who want to play with daddy's robots.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or daddy's dinosaurs. It depends entirely if it's 40k or if it's Age of Sigmar as to whether or not it's a robot or a dinosaur.
I should get to go for the Demonettes yet.
So my son hasn't actually shown that much interest in the Demonettes.
What?
Yeah, I know. Like it, just like oh right, it's like little like spindly thing. If anything, the cats have shown more interest in them. because
Oh,
it's tiny thin pieces of plastic that are just perfect for getting your teeth round. You know,
yeah.
like
Oh, yeah. They must like plastic because their teeth can really
oh,
come
they
into it.
love
Oh,
plastic.
okay. Yeah.
Cats
Yeah.
love plastic, like
Oh,
clear
yeah.
plastic bags,
Yeah.
cellophane from what your stuff came in, like
Yeah.
miniatures, anything. They will chew it. Love paint bottles, knocking paint bottles off the side of the table.
How much paint have you lost to the cats?
I have actually lost more paint to my son, who
What?
picked up a brand new pot of Tesseract Glow the day that I bought it. I think like a week after it had released, managed to open the cap. Open the cap that I struggle with sometimes because it hadn't even been broken properly to open up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and managed to get Tesseract Glow all over my brand new codex, all over the dining table, which is pine, so it's like it's very very light coloured table,
Yeah.
and like over the top of like a whole bunch of different paint lids. Like there's still a little bit on this one. Like, can you see that subtle green on there?
Oh,
This is
yeah.
after scrubbing the top of this paint pot. The table, in part, is still bright lime green, and that is after sandpapering the table.
Jesus.
Yeah, Tesseract Glow is awesome.
It's effective.
Well, I'm going to use it.
Tesseract Glow is a really good paint with really good coverage and stain power. You can sandpaper it and it won't go away.
Yeah.
I know what I'm using to get revenge.
Roland, do you want to pick that up off the floor, please? Pick it up off the floor, please.
Tesseract Glow.
Let me grab up my shake.
You know, are you working on the tracks for your Firefly right now?
No, I got that out to show you.
Okay.
I have. Yeah, I'm currently working on my Imperial Knight.
Oh.
This big boy.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's nice. I didn't even know you. I don't even know if I knew you had that.
You haven't seen. You've seen this one before because it normally sits up on my shelf there.
Okay.
Yeah. You haven't seen my armatures though.
Oh, it's got the armatures. I like the armatures too.
These little boys.
Oh yeah. That's another model I want. I like the whole knights thing.
Yeah.
Well, looks like we got new working features, so that's good.
Yay.
I can bring it. That'll be good. I can pop comments up and stuff. So I like that.
Time to glue the big boy together again. Ooh, that's some super glue. Smells very strong.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Hello.
Back.
I'm stressed.
Oh no.
Oh man, like it's getting towards that time of night. Yeah, it's getting very, very close to bedtime, basically, for my son. Which means
Oh, yeah.
that
It's bewitching hour. They call it.
I don't know whether or not anyone else has this issue. I know you two guys don't because you don't actually have kids, but oh man, like it starts getting towards bedtime, and it's kind of like he knows that it's time to sleep.
Oh,
So like
yeah.
all the energy that's being held over is now like unwinding and coming out,
Yeah.
and none of the energy goes to the ears.
No,
Like, at
it's
all.
the last
No,
gasp
not a
of
thing.
spaz.
So like,
No, it's
so
all to
he's
keep. You
Adrenaline, man.
what's basically happened there is he's you know he's abandoned his dinner, which had a little bit of chicken on the plate. So of course the cat's come over and like tried to steal the chicken to eat the chicken, which is what I was trying to stop the cat from doing. The cat in its little like sort of like, oh, I'm gonna try and get this chicken.
Is this
has
the
kind
cat
of
or
knocked
normal cat?
over. Sorry.
Which cat is this? Durpo?
Oh, this is Dexter. This is the dumb one that's like a dog.
Yeah.
So Dexter has knocked over the little bowl of sushi rice that my wife also has made for my son because she really likes sushi rice. It's like just one of these things we always have at least a little bit of.
Was it a Rube Goldberg machine of disasters?
No, it wasn't. So what's happened is that the little bowl has landed on the floor and a little bit of rice has landed on the floor. Like we're talking like, maybe like 10, 15 grains or something in total. And it's sushi rice, so it clumps together and it's just like these little bits. Yeah. I'm like, all right, okay, you know what? I can deal with that. That's easy. Then my boy has gone over and gone, oh no, this has fallen on the floor. Picks it up, goes to pick up the rice. The rice is stuck to his fingers because he doesn't know, do this motion to get rid of it. So instead of doing this, he starts doing this, which then breaks the rice apart and sends it flying all across the living room.
Oh.
Sees the bowl still has a bunch of rice in, and then goes, 1 + 1 = 2. Picks up a bunch more rice and starts flicking it again. So now there's rice flying everywhere. And I'm like, Rowan, stop doing that. Pick it up, please. No. Flick, flick, flick. Rowan, pick it up, please. Yeah, rice on the floor. Rowan, click the mute and go and tidy everything up before my son does more.
Yeah.
Like, make sure he washes his hands, wash my hands so I don't have rice all over and stuff. This is not what I want to do.
Finish painting.
Very nice. Yeah, it's kind of Blood Ravensy, like with the bun-coloured pauldrons. It is bun-coloured, yes.
No, it's actually unalloyed ceramite.
Okay, so great.
Unalloyed ceramite. You gotta love it.
Mm.
It's actually it's unalloyed adamantium, I think it's called.
So grubby silver.
Yeah, a grey gold colour as it is depicted in the code.
Grey gold colour.
Yeah.
Interesting. I always go by what Wolverine looks like after an explosion.
Yeah, that's the only adamantium I know.
Yeah.
When did they start using who was the first one to coin adamantium?
Oh man, I have no idea. It's like one of those
not
like silly
by
things.
Marvel, so I'm like,
adamantium, if I remember right, is it?
There you go. See there, yep.
Fictional metal alloy. See, there's the actual periodic table of elements has a couple of things on. Like I think promethium's on there.
What?
Yeah, promethium is on the table of elements. It's a manufactured element.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Show me a large version. Yeah, promethium 61. So it's that top level of the manufactured elements,
Yeah.
like you know, like the two layers at the bottom. It's the top one of that, and it's number 5 on that as you count from left to right.
I don't think you can't manufacture elements, man. They're elements, bro.
You can, you can.
Adamantium was created by Roy Thomas and Barry Windsor Smith and Sid Shores in 1969
Did they
for
say
Marvel.
Barry Windsor Smith?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, and they didn't snag their copyright and stuff. Bad.
No, Promethium is apparently a solid.
Yeah, that's how it's described in the law. You get blocks of promethium.
Interesting.
And
Interesting.
promethium mixed with, and it's pretty much napalm for flamer fuel.
Nice.
I guess I did a paint over today.
Year discovered 1945.
Hey. Yeah, the most common flammable substance used in a flame is promethium, a flammable petroleum-like jelly.
Interesting.
And is very similar to the 21st century incendiary called napalm.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Sounds like a drink that will put hair on your chest or kill you.
Or both if you're a space wolf. Depends whether or not Lucas got his hands on it beforehand.
Probably.
See, Lucas the Trickster, one of my favourite characters. One thing I did get recently is the War of the Fang books.
I never heard of those.
It is the first time Magnus the Red tried to invade the Fang.
No.
Yeah. And you just have Bjorn being woken from cryosleep and being a grumpy old man.
I can relate.
Being woken from stasis.
No, just grumpy old man.
Yeah.
I'm not too, in the mornings I am half grumpy. I don't like loud mornings, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah.
Oh well. It's just me being grouchy because I just sat there for hours gluing washers onto the bottom of my demonettes and then magnets on the bases and yeah, you know, like a little bit of tedious hobby.
Yeah, get all that stuff done because we got some videos to do.
Oh no, absolutely, yeah. Like that's next on the list, I think. Like, oh man, like I just wish there was like a switch in my head that I could flip that was just like, okay, now it's time to do the thing, and just get on with the thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I need to do video edits. Click, do all the video edits. And now it's time to paint this thing. Click, paint that thing, and don't get distracted.
When I have things to do that will literally take me like 5 or 10 minutes, but I'll put them off for days. I can't stand that about my brain, and I limit. It's the paperwork things and like that get me. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of things like, hey, you know, doing actual work, getting the stuff out, like I always adhere to that because it's just like, okay, those are like the things. And then some of the stuff I want to skip out on, like, you know, the paperwork stuff and stuff. It's like, oh boy, man, I can't like, even paying bills. I'll have to pay a few bills and it'll take me, you know, I'll like put them off. It's like, okay, get in the habit of just, you know, paying them all and, you know, right then. But no, I'll wait till there's only like a couple days left. Then I'm like, all right, pay them. What faction is this Dreadnought, did you say?
Carcharodon's Astra, or the Space Sharks.
Yeah. Think of it like it's a very sort of Maori-inspired Space Marine chapter.
Okay.
Like very, very sort of like tribal. You know, like lots of tattoos, lots of sort of like martial tradition, that sort of thing.
Yeah, from that front skull, I get that now. Okay.
Entirely fleet-based, I believe.
Yeah. Well, I can't remember the books well enough, but I think meant to be entirely fleet-based. And like really struggle with you know, sort of getting new recruits and stuff.
Yeah.
Because no one's quite violent enough for them.
And
it's you know,
those Minotaur. I didn't know that Minotaur chapter was a thing, but I don't know where I was reading about the spoiler. No one's even watching spoiler, but what was it when there? I don't know. It was like the new stuff was Gilliman or whatever, and they were conspiring against them, and then the assassins took out a whole bunch of people. And I don't remember where that was from, but I know that's kind of recent.
Yes, they have a fleet-based chapter, but no more. They got the Mantis Warrior homeworld, apparently.
All right. There. At least we got some bunch of stuff tested out. And the DOG is looking at ME. I was just saying the DOG is looking at ME. So I'm going to have to go let him out.
Oh, the dog.
Yep.
Good old Pupper.
You know, he starts hearing that. And I brought all these bags in. I was like setting bags down. I had paper. I had to ship out prints. And I didn't fully clean up. So there's all this little like paper and stuff. So then he's like, you know, tiptoeing, trying to get through it all.
What prints are there that you've got to ship out?
A couple commissions. So the people who got one commissioned it, and then someone ordered one when I did it on free paint over day. And so they bought one after that.
Yeah.
So I mailed those out. Get them all set up, and I did all my. I had to get. I was like, I'm behind on but not behind, but there's just a lot of stuff I had going on, so I got to get some stuff done.
Yeah.
So that was my day. I am going to end this here. Thanks for joining. And then we got to test everything out, and then I'll be back in Discord and all that in a short little while.
Yeah.
Get our work done.
Thanks for having us. I'll also be around for a bit of typing and stuff.
I'll be around until I fall asleep because I didn't sleep last night.
Yeah, we'll end up doing this with the thing, and especially in the Patreon, because we can kind of be wild and free in there and whatever. Like, this was good.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of over talking. So I was like, okay, how is this going to work when we actually do a show with multiple guests? But I like the layout. The layout is nice and clean. I like that. So
yeah.
Oh wait, miniature apothecary. I got to do this now.
We want to get at least like 6 people all together all at the same time.
Yeah.
No.
It works.
No.
We can have it popping up. Fame. Oh, a miniature apothecary. I think this is his miniature, actually.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Would not surprise me.
We
not surprise me.
We accidentally did a paint over.
Accidentally. Oops, I accidentally a thing.
Well, I was busy Google searching the Carcharodons, and Mal was dealing with small child issues.
Yeah.
We got the comments now. We're in here. We're just behind. I realized there's a delay on all this stuff.
Well, yeah, so there's a very slight. It's really interesting. So the screen that I'm looking at here, like the production preview, is okay. So I would be watching the commentary and reading the chat, but it is massively delayed. So it's around about a minute and a half delayed if I read the chat as I'm watching live.
So
The preview of my camera in the top corner here, in the top right corner, is like pretty much 1-for-1. It's maybe like 2 or 3 frames behind. It's very natural looking.
Yeah. So if I go to
The
grab my
production preview, which is like the screen that I'm looking at, that is what you're showing on the live stream, is around about maybe 10, 15 seconds behind what I'm actually doing. So like if I click my fingers, 1, 2, actually a lot quicker. It's about like 2, 3 seconds. But then when it goes on to YouTube, there's like a 30-second to a minute delay just baked in as it processes everything. And I'm behind even further than that anyway, because it's literally my signal going to America where you're streaming from and then coming back to me with the 30-second delay baked onto it. And it's like, yeah.
So I noticed when I was in one of the settings, there was like an export, like how much of a delay you have, but I think it was in these YouTube. You know what? Interesting. It was in YouTube, I think. I'm going to have to check that out because I finally scheduled the last one. And when I was scheduling it, it let me choose how much delay there was. And so
you can change it depending on if you're playing. If you're playing like a multiplayer game, obviously you don't want people watching your screen. So like you put a massive delay on it, and then they can't watch what you're doing.
And so that's what I was looking at.
Delay on.
Yeah, so I was trying to figure that out, and so I was like, okay, good. I'll get that sorted. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna let him out, and I'll be right back. You guys, they'll be able to hear you, so you can talk or whatever. I'm gonna put this on time lapse real quick, and I'll be right back. I just gotta let.
Yeah, it's like weird when I go to look at the chat, and I just see like myself going for a drink I grabbed like a minute ago.
Yeah. Well, it's time. The inmates are in charge of the asylum, so
well, that is out of the cage.
Yes, indeed. So, what exactly have you been working on? Like, because you finished your night. What else are you doing? What else are you painting? Because you've still been working there for a few minutes.
I've just been testing out Mornfang Brown as like a leather supplement.
Oh yeah. Mornfang is pretty good. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, and also just figuring out how else I'm going to do these Death Sworn.
Yes. Yeah, they're really nice miniatures. Like they really are. Like I remember when they popped up on Forge World. Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like little wolf skull helmets and
the wolf shoulder pads and stuff.
Yeah, it's space wolves, isn't it? So obviously wolves everywhere, wolf heads, tails, fur, bones, canines.
Just says, the delay is real.
Yep.
Let's see how long it takes for that to go. I am saying that at 1926. Let's see how long it takes. Miniatures to see that.
All the live chat. Yeah, delay is real.
Yeah. That is just the Zandri dust.
Zandri. Good old Zandri dust. Yeah. Anyone know dust?
Wait, is Miniature Apothecary? Miniature Apothecary, if you're here, go in the Discord, click on the link in general, and then I'll try to add you in here. I want to see. If you want.
Should be able to just pop in.
Yeah, if you want. You don't have to, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
1 minute delay. Yeah.
It is probably set. I bet you on my YouTube it's set to a minute delay.
More than likely.
So I will look into that. Like, and dude, that's the thing. Like, there are a million little things like that. Like, I keep doing is, oh, wait, that's there to adjust. Oh, wait, how do you set up the title screen? Oh, wait, how do you pre-schedule? Oh, wait, how do you... So it's like, I'm like, I usually give myself like a year if I'm trying to like, learn something. Like, it takes a long time to like, to get it smooth. You know what I mean? Where, okay, hit this button, do this, do that.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I mean, like, I edited for 4 years at university, and then have edited videos pretty much ever since. And even I'm still learning stuff, man.
Oh
Like
yeah.
it's very like it doesn't matter if you do it every single day. There's always going to be something that you're like, oh, that's what that does.
Oh yeah.
Oh
And
no.
props to you. Props to your editing, dude. So I went and I was looking through my like click over rate on some stuff, and the click through rate on the videos like you produced is really good. But I'm like,
Oh, nice.
how is that? I don't know how it even matters because usually it would be thumbnail, but my thumbnails are like all the same. So I don't know what the deal is, but any which way, the ones you produce, the click through rate is like 10% sometimes and like all that. So it's weird too because I think I'm giving the algorithm more information now, so it's starting to try to like place me with people that would like my stuff. You know what I mean? So you can see it trying different things to like find the audience. So sometimes like the click through rate was really low, and not really low. It was actually high, but not compared to like I started watching, and over time the one was going up to like 18%, and that was the Emperor Spears. And I'm thinking that's because Google search, there was not a lot of Emperor Spears stuff out there. And then when Google,
and it coincided. Yeah, it kind of coincided with the Emperor Spear article in the White Dwarf as well, like the army list stuff.
And so I learned, I'm going to try to time more of that type of stuff because I'm like, that was huge where it's like still going and still things. So I'm like, okay, like some of the videos I'm going to try to time stuff because I was even thinking like, you know, when like I saw White Dwarf, they put out that or not White Dwarf, but Games Workshop, they put out that newest sister, right? And so, oh, there he goes. I think he is. Someone was able to join.
Hello.
I see a wall.
I think we even got his audio.
Yeah, we have got his audio. So what Mini Apothecary needs to do is mute the YouTube.
All right, wait 1 second.
Yeah,
I'm
just right, 1 minute. There we go.
Yay, we can hear you now.
Oh, they got this.
Ding, 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 ding. What's going on? I can hear like 50 million voices all of a sudden.
Hang
I
on.
was like,
Welcome to multiple source troubleshooting. What's going on? Why can I hear everything? What? How? What? Like you have no idea how many times I have like tried streaming on my own with like I've got like multiple camera setups and stuff, and it's like, okay, somewhere there is another microphone switched on one of like the 4 devices that are around me. Which one is it? Like, mute that one. No, it's still echoing. Mute that one. No, it's still echoing. Mute that one. Everything goes silent.
Yeah, I think one of my first streams was the exact same thing. It was like it was picking it up through both cameras and my mic and my phone that was plugged in, even though I'd already said no, like no exit, like, don't accept my phone at all. It was like, no, we're going to pick up from your phone mic, your 2 cameras and your microphone, and it was like, okay, what else have I got to turn off here? I've literally turned off all the devices. Couldn't tell you. It is bizarre.
Like, it makes me want to get. So obviously, like, if you're doing a live stream with 4 people, you have to delay. So, like, I think the person needs to talk and know, hey, I'm only going to talk on average for like a minute or 2, and then a nice long pause. Then everybody waits, and because I'm like, how do they do it when they have 4 people on? So I'm like, there's got to be like good tech.
I have the talking stick. It's my turn. None of you are allowed.
I mean, technically,
I bet you could be talking Imperial Knight.
Oh, so I can do this. See there, now Lewis Wilson's the only one we can hear. Ooh, I have power, mad power. I can even mute him, and then it's just me. So that's how I get. There's Miniature Apothecary. So Miniature Apothecary, say something now.
Okay, like what?
Okay, no, that's good. Your mic is a little weird right now. It's a little like metally under or something. But no big deal because I'm just testing. I'm just testing stuff anyway, so I'm not concerned. But all right, everyone's unmuted now.
This is tech support the stream.
It is.
Oh, God, tech support. You tried turning the stream on and off again.
And this is like, what's so funny is it's live.
The Ottomans have heard that as a response from tech support people.
Sorry, I had flashbacks just there. Yeah. You tried turning your computer off and on again. I know this is a silly question, but is it plugged in? Can you check your cables?
Have you actually had to ask people that?
One of my favorite stories from tech support, the 3 months that I was working in a call center doing actual internet tech support for people, was a bloke who called up. He bought a wireless printer, one of the ones that works over Wi-Fi, and you connect to it and tell it to print, and it does the thing. So he called up, and we didn't really support that, but I was kind of like, well, it's a slow day, the phones are kind of dead, I'll help you out, like whatever. And I'm talking through, and I'm going through the standard tech support questions, the ones that are designed to annoy you, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so you're looking at your printer, and he's like, yes, it's on the desk near my computer. Like, I just wanted to not have cables. I'm like, right, okay, cool. What lights are showing on it? Like, is the power cable plugged in? And he's like, what? I'm like, is the power cable plugged in a printer? He's like, what do you mean power cable? It's wireless. I was like, that's not what that means. It just means that you still have to put power into it. And he's like, what? But why? I was like, okay, so it is it on the box? Like, is it on the table? And he's like, yeah, the box is on the table. I'm like, what do you mean the box is on the table? He's like, well, I brought it home in the box, and I put the box on the table. I'm like, have you put paper in it? He's like, what? I'm like, so he just kind of expected that he would put the cardboard box next to his computer, and it would start spooling out whatever he was trying to print. I don't know where the paper was coming out of the cardboard box, but there you go. And that phone call ended with him swearing at me and putting the phone down, because I kind of inadvertently pointed out he had been kind of silly about the entire thing.
And that's putting it politely.
He wasn't even particularly old either. This wasn't even that long ago. This was like just before 2010. Yeah, maybe like 2009, something like that, 2008. Yeah, it's just apparently there's some technology that just passes all of us by.
Apothecary, yeah. What are you working on? What are you working on, Apothecary?
Carried on Chaplain Dreadnought.
Oh yeah, with the big teeth.
Yeah.
Big teeth. Well,
yes.
People tend to go one or two ways with Carried. They either go really basic or they go really over the top. And I don't know. I kind of like the basic look. Like, it's close to like the imagery from the Badab War books. So I like the more basic, but at the same time, some of the people that have gone with the more OTT feel, with the masses of teeth and gore and everything else, some of them are really cool. I thought, well, it's a Chaplain Dread. It needs a lot of adornment. Let's go OTT on it.
Yeah.
But it's going to stand out amongst the more basic Marines and stuff.
I was going to say, do you have the Concordance Dread with the seismic hammer?
Well, the one that you did the accidental paint over of, that's the converted.
I just muted him for a second. Are you guys hearing? Is it muffled for you when he talks too?
Yeah, but it's like a bandwidth thing. So it's always going to depend on each of our individual upload speeds, then your upload speed, and then our download speed going alongside.
I know, because it's a lot of streams, so that's why I wanted to try it. I'm like, okay, I don't know what it
like the preview for me is like incredibly pixelated. It's like 144p sort of thing. But I've got like my wife is streaming in her bed in like our bedroom at her office desk. Like, my kid is watching Netflix. I'm watching this. Now my friends in the UK are calling me on Facebook to play board games with them. Like, internet here is always like, a little a bit nuts.
Oh, that's interesting. So okay, so that's good to know. When he hops out, it just went right to the 3 screen. Interesting.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. Where is the? Now, how do I adjust that? Okay, so that's the camera icon. Nope, I don't want that. Oh, I got to go back to the star, and then I would go here and go ding, ding, ding. Okay. Yeah, so that's okay. So that's thanks Apothecary for helping test that out. I wanted to see. So multiple people can join through one link, so that's kind of cool. Like, so I didn't know that. So I can drop one like in Discord, or you know what I mean, have a group maybe in Discord. I mean, right now it's small, well that's why I keep it small, because like toss a link and hey, if you guys want to hop in. And then I don't know if there's a way to keep someone like, I don't know if I can mute them before I bring the. Oh, here he hopped in again. Let me do this.
Hello.
He's back.
Don't ask.
Stop talking about it.
I don't know. It just suddenly just went. I just disappeared. I was like, it's gone really quiet. Why can I not hear any? Oh, I disconnected.
Oh,
Yeah.
Such is life, because we're all.
I guess the booster isn't helping.
Yeah. Apparently so. The booster looks like it's not working to its full extent, which worries me for tonight's stream. But we shall see how it goes.
Are you streaming tonight?
Yeah, in the next 30 minutes.
Ooh, next 3 we have a couple. We have 4 viewers, which is probably us 4. So I'm gonna tell us 4 viewers.
Actually,
check
probably
out your stream in a little while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, there's the sort of semi-masturbatory thumbs up on the stream that I'm actually in, and then I've closed it, so that should save a slight amount of bandwidth. See, now that he's joined back in, now that Apothecary's back, like my preview is actually better.
Yeah, and his audio came in better.
Yeah.
So that
was
madness. Oh wait, no, tell a lie. It's back to 144p. Brilliant. Potato cams for the win.
Why is Edge highlighting such a pain?
Why is Edge highlighting a pain? Because it is.
And why do they? One good thing is I'm viewing Dark Reaper on Abaddon Black, so it's difficult to see. So I can afford to mess up a bit.
Yeah, it's very subtle. Like.
No,
hello?
when I watch something and someone does something wrong, when they say something wrong, I want to be like, no, that's incorrect.
It's a very, very easy with like Dark Reaper, like those really dark colors to like, yeah, you can mess it up, but like the second layer that you put on, if you do like, like just to bring it out a little bit, that's when it becomes really noticeable.
Yeah.
So the second one, you've always got to be good
on the first layer.
Yeah. Thin your paints. That's why it's like at least 2 thin coats,
Don't watch my stream, then you'll have an aneurysm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll have to swing by your stream and harass you. Are you on Twitch or are you on YouTube?
Twitch.
Twitchy.
I will swing by Twitch. That's the other thing. There's so much to do. Part of me was like, things like this, YouTube comments. So this program, it won't bring up comments in Twitch, but I can bring up comments from Facebook or YouTube. So that's why I didn't try on Twitch, because I was like, well, like Twitch, I could see as this type of thing. Like, go on Twitch, try this. Like, I was gonna play one time. I have to play this little game on here. I was like, oh, I'll stream my little gang, and I have a little Necromunda game in here, the gang skirmish one. And I was like, go on Twitch, play some of this, chat with people, and do a paint over or whatever. Just a little more free form than like you couldn't get much more free form than this.
I've been I've got my Twitch account and I've got my YouTube channel and things like that, but I tend not to stream on them that much. Like it's been a long time since I did anything with my YouTube channel. I really need to actually get back on that. But what I've been doing is like streaming in Discord and stuff because I'm just like, I'm gonna play Space Marine because I really like playing Space Marine, and it's been years since I did it. So I'm gonna play Space Marine. There's a whole bunch of people that should be getting it for free with their White Dwarf, so we should have a whole bunch of new players as opposed to like everyone's level 41 and kills me instantly because it's been years since I played, but apparently, a day since they did, and no one ever joins in. It's just me playing the campaign for the last week in my spare time with no one watching because I don't.
That was good.
I would watch if I wasn't asleep half the time.
Yeah, what do you mean asleep half the time? I play during the day. Oh wait, no, you're a student. Yeah, okay, say no more.
Yeah. Like,
took a moment there. Took a moment. Caught up with it.
I was thinking, like, when was the last time I slept?
Hopefully not too long ago. Because I can tell you from personal experience, if you leave it long enough without sleep, you forget how to read.
You forget how to do more than read.
The reading happened first for me, and then about 2 days later, the hallucinations started, and I decided to call it.
Yeah.
That was interesting. That was very interesting, watching disembodied heads float around the top of the room, and went, I think I should probably go to sleep. And then when I went to my bedroom, there was someone already in my bed, and I was like, not dealing with that thought today. Just into bed, scoot right up to the edge of it. Don't take any covers from them because they might be there, they might not be. Go to sleep, and I slept for 2 days.
Yep.
And now I can't do that anymore.
I went 2 days without sleep because I've got people outside at 7 a.m. doing barbecues, which is when I'd normally get to sleep at in the first place. I've got the old inverse sleep cycle at the moment.
Yes, sleep during the day, awake during the night. Yeah, I know it well. Yeah. I just... Like, me and my flatmates just did it for fun. We were like, hey, who can go without sleep the most? I made it 6 days. Day 4, forgot how to read. That was very interesting. Day 6, hallucinations started. By that point, everyone else had already been out the competition for 3 days. I was like, no, point of pride. I want to push it. This was a mistake.
The standard thing is that bunch of flatmates. Let's do something stupid.
Let's do something silly. There was one guy who called it quits after 2 hours because it was his normal bedtime, and he was like, "Nah, I'm going to bed."
Oh, what?
You're the one who started this.
Oh wow, that's wimping out, all right.
He was the one that started it.
Yeah, it was like one of the earliest versions of trolling possible.
Coward.
Like, yeah, guys, let's do this thing. Let's have a competition. Oh, call it quits. Like, see you later.
Yeah. Little did we know he'd already been up for 4 days prior.
He's gonna get going, so I think I will end the stream here, and then that way we'll stop in by your stream and you get ready.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's 15 minutes.
Practice up. Thank you so much. And
I need to go get food.
And all you guys, I'm going to end up scheduling more like, for real live stream type things. So I got to have all of you on again, and we'll start. I have to get later on. I get some like 10-minute long content. So nice, clean. So I have short stuff. I have like the shorts. I have the 2-minute stuff. I have the super long form live streams, and then I need some nice chunky clean 10-minute videos of like something to have going out for that stuff. So that's what I'm going to be working on. And like,
I was going to say, if we needed just like 10 minutes of audio, I could try doing some of the 40k RP stuff I've done, just reading that out. Like, I'm
going to do some, it has to kind of fit the channel, and I got to do a bunch of stuff to kind of get the views and all that. So
free paint over day compilation.
That
would be a good free paint over day compilation. Like, hey, these are all the things that people submitted. These are all the ones that I painted. Done.
Yeah.
But that definitely, I think, involves either you learning to edit
I
properly
did. I got
for
some
like a
small
10-minute
edit
thing,
stuff.
or me pulling my finger out and getting on with editing
It'll
your
probably
videos.
be both. It'll be a combination of all the above. So, Miniature Apothecary, thanks, you guys. I'm going to end this here, and then I'm going to stop by your stream in a little while and say hey again. We'll see. And then I'll see you in Discord. I'll see you on Twitter, and then I'll see you on Instagram, and then we're going to loop right about around here. Wait, you have a
We'll meet back around here in about an hour, yeah?
Yeah. Hit them all. All right, I'll see you guys soon.
See you guys.
See you
See
soon.
you in a bit.
See ya.
Bye.